Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops. A night that was pretty light on NBA games, only 5 games on the night. But let's just start off with the main topic, which to me is the Boston Celtics handling the Orlando Magic, beating them by 17, and it's their second straight win over them, their second win within a week over them. It might be more than that overall, but it's definitely 2 straight wins at least over the Magic. And the Magic, before this little stretch, were the second seed in the Eastern Conference. Now with 2 straight losses, they go from 16-7 to 16-9, and it is a drop in the standings down to, I believe, 4th. It might even be 5th now for the Orlando Magic. It is a domination of them by Boston, and usually the Magic have kind of had Boston's number. The Celtics have struggled with Orlando in years past, even when the Magic weren't very good, but now that they are, the Celtics must be, they really prepare for it better, and they're not going to lose these games. And the Celtics run the Eastern Conference 20-5 on the season, the best record in the East and the best record in the NBA since the Timberwolves had the night off. So they moved to 20-5 on the season, and they have been dominant. They've been running through competition left and right. They've had a couple slip-ups here and there, obviously, with the 5 losses, but overall the Celtics are awesome, winning 80% of their games so far this season, on pace to have a really good season and a really impressive one where they would win over 60 games for the season as a whole. And the Celtics look like the best team in the league right now, and they continue to have a dominant starting lineup led by the 2 J's. Jason Tatum in this one, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a +9, the 3rd best plus-minus among starters, only 8 for 21. It wasn't a great shooting night for Jason Tatum, but shoots well from 3, 4 for 6, and does play good defense on top of the rebounding, and finds a way to make an impact despite some spotty shooting. Jaylen Brown was the star of the show in this win over Orlando, my bad, they are Boston. 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists for Jaylen Brown. 12 of 20 from the field, which is 60%. 5 of 8 from 3, over 60% there as well. A solid all-around night for Jaylen Brown, who was a +11. Then you get a bunch of other contributors as well. Every single starter for Boston goes in double digits, as they often do. 15 points and 10 rebounds for Kristaps Porzingis. 14 points, 6 rebounds for Jrue Holiday, as well as 2 blocks for Jrue Holiday. Then you get 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks from Derrick White, who continues to just be a super underrated player for this Boston team. And their starting lineup continues to be dominant, and even like off the bench, multiple very impressive contributors. They have 3 guys off the bench who go +10 or better. Sam Hauser was a +12, a +19 from Al Horford, and a +10 from Peyton Pritchard. They're super efficient. They shoot 47% from the field, 47% from 3, and 87.5% from the line. And as fine as their offense was, not bad at all by any means, it was the defense that really held up in this one, as they hold Orlando to 38% from the field and under 31% from 3. A really impressive defensive outing, and it felt like they had a game plan. It was pretty clear early on that Paolo Banchero was going to be really good in this game, and he was. 36 points, 14 of 30 shooting, 10 rebounds as well, but nobody else for the Magic even had 15. They did a really good job of allowing Banchero to do his damage that he was going to do, and then kind of focusing on stopping everyone else, which they did effectively. They hold Franz Wagner to just 3 of 14 shooting for only 8 points. He was a -12. Jalen Suggs has 13. He was decently solid, but Goga Bitadze only 33% for a center, not exactly what you want to see. 4 points. Even Cole Anthony, who's been a great scorer off the bench this season, goes just 2 for 8 for 6 points. They also hold Mo Wagner to just 6 points on 1 of 3 shooting. He's also been really good this year. And Orlando just can't seem to do it against the Celtics. The Celtics had a great game game plan and they executed it well, continued to shoot a lot of threes and hit them at a high percentage, but I would say they've done a pretty good job at attacking on the interior as well. When the other team has Goga Bitadze as their big man, there's going to be some sort of weakness there. You know, no offense to Goga. He's been a really impressive replacement for Wendell Carter Jr. in the Magic starting lineup. But you're just not going to do a fantastic job when it comes to the big guys that the Celtics have, because they're throwing Al Horford at you, they're throwing Porzingis at you, and then you have guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown who are both apt to attack downhill as well as shoot from the perimeter, but both very good attackers of the rim, and the Magic just couldn't stop that, and they couldn't score on the Celtics defense. The backcourt duo of Derrick White and Jrue Holiday continues to be the best defensive backcourt in the league. I'll stand on that, and Porzingis continues to be a solid interior presence for Boston as well, and it just feels like no one can stop them at this point. They're the best team in the East, they're dominating the East, and they sit alone atop it, and it's pretty easy to tell that the Celtics run the East right now. The Eastern Conference goes through Boston 20-5 on the season, and they deserve a lot of praise because it has been just about as close as perfect of a start to a season as you could ask for from Boston, who goes out in the conference finals last year, makes a bunch of moves, and is looking to win their first title with Jason Tatum, and I think they have a real shot to do it. But now let's shoot around the NBA, look at different outcomes, and try to get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA basketball. So, in other action from around the NBA, we did have 4 other games on the night. The Celtics was one of the early window games, a couple of 3 o'clock Eastern games, and then we had games at 7, 8, and 9, respectively, I believe. But we'll just start off with the other early game, which is Pelicans versus Spurs, a matchup of 2 number 1 overall picks in Zion Williamson and Victor Wembanyama, strength versus length in the matchup. The Pelicans win it easily. They dominate this game, 146-110, an easy victory for New Orleans, who moves to 16-11 on the season and sends the Spurs to 4-21 on the year. Victor Wembanyama pretty solid, 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks. He's been really good this year, but the team as a whole just isn't good, so he's not getting the support that he needs. But since moving to center over the last 5 games, Victor Wembanyama is averaging 19 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game. It's something to watch. He's been really, really impressive as the starting center compared to the power forward. Brandon Ingram had 26 points for them in the victory. Continues a really solid season from him so far. Then we move into the later window with the first game in that group as the Bucks take down the Rockets 128-119. Continue to be really good at home. They are now 14-2 at home on the season, and Damian Lillard was awesome. 39 points, 11 assists, and 3 steals, and Dame and Giannis combined for 65 as they continue to hold the Rockets to a rough away from home performance. The Rockets now 2-9 on the season away from home and really good at their home arena. They are now 11-1 at home and 2-9 away. They're one of the most kind of polar opposite teams in the league, and the Bucks defense shows up in this one at least enough, and their offense continues to be really good. Fred VanVleet, 22 points and 6 assists for Houston in the loss. The Suns take down the Wizards 112-108 in a game that was probably a lot closer than a lot of people expected, but the Suns still win it. So at the end of the day, the result is what you would expect. 27 points and 8 assists for Devin Booker in the victory. And then Trey Jones played really well for the Wizards, but they also got 26 points and 17 rebounds from Daniel Gafford, a big man that I really like and one of the most underrated centers in the league today. And then we have one game left with 0.6 seconds on the clock. It is the Warriors' ball, and the Warriors are up 2 points. I would say it is almost guaranteed the Warriors win this game. We'll see, but it feels like they're going to take this one. And it's impressive because Steph Curry honestly wasn't good. There was a point in the fourth quarter, I was watching it, he only had 6 points for the game. He was shooting like 14% at that point too. He was really struggling, but Andrew Wiggins shows up, 25 points and 7 rebounds for Golden State. The Blazers get 30 from Jeremy Grant, but the Warriors will move to 12-14 on the the season, and a couple of wins that they really needed after Draymond has gotten suspended. They beat the Nets in their last game, and now they beat the Trailblazers on the road as well, which is huge for Golden State, and a couple of much needed wins for them. But that's what we had tonight. And now, as always, let's get into the last segment of the night, a segment I always want to do, the top 5 players according to the Real Sports app. I just want to do this to showcase who the great performers were, who the great games came from on any given night of hoops. And let's just start off at number 1, which is Damian Lillard with 39 points, 5 rebounds, and 11 assists. Trey Jones at number 2 with 22 points, 11 assists, and 6 steals. Daniel Gafford comes in at number 3 with 26 points, 17 rebounds, and shooting 77% from the field. Paolo Banchero at 4 with 36 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 steals. And then rounding out the top 5 is Klay Thompson with 28 points, 4 rebounds, and shooting 69% from the field. Nice. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the daily recaps, think about sticking around, watching a few more of them. But that'll do it for me. So once again, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.